Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Strange Foundation YouTube channel. My name is Charles Strange. I'm the Gold Star father of Petty Officer First Class Michael Strange, killed in action August 6th, 2011 in Afghanistan in the Tangine Valley with 30 other Americans. RPG by the Taliban, we were told, but found out later on it's not. And this is my wife, Mary Ann Strange.
Hi everybody.
So, it's been 10 years since my son was killed, Michael, and we've been banging our heads, and we ended up writing a book, Relentless. And the relentless part is that we will never stop asking questions about what happened. It was 93 days after the Osama bin Laden raid. There were some leaks about who killed Osama bin Laden raid right afterwards. And through all this tragedy, being out of my head, getting ready to go to the hat factory, because my son was just sitting with me after the bin Laden raid, June 6th, which was his birthday, 25 years old. I was going through therapists, and I went to another therapist, and they were very good therapists. They were nice people, but they didn't know the loss. They didn't know the pain. I lost a piece of my heart. And I met another Gold Star father who lost his son 3 years prior. Grant Smith. His son was Tristan Smith, killed in Iraq. And I met him for a cup of coffee. And he was like me. He was crying. He was sad. He was angry. And I came home to my wife and I said, this Gold Star father's just like me. And I felt better talking to him and talking to him about what happened and talking about how I missed my son and I got a piece of my soul missing. And I said, we should start a weekend. So we should start meeting some more other Gold Star families and let's do something. And we started here in Philadelphia. We're from Philadelphia. Michael went to North Catholic, class 2004. And he joined the military right out of high school and took off. And we're very honored about what Michael did. He was a top cryptologist, code breaker. He won the National Intelligence Medal of Valor, only 17, been given out in the history of America since World War II, and the Wind Talkers. We knew Michael was smart. We didn't know he was that smart. And we got together and we had a beef and beer, a fundraiser. I said, let's bring these parents back in. And we did our first weekend, 2012, in Malvern, Pennsylvania. We had about 18 Gold Stars coming. And what we did is we had 2 grief counselors. And they were great, and it was awesome. And they broke down the 5 stages of grief. And denial, like, no, that didn't happen. He's going to be home. This ain't, we're real, this is all bullshit. My son didn't die. The anger, the second stage, you're like going to hurt somebody, kill my son. The other third stage is bargaining. You start bargaining. Yo, God, take me. Bring my son back. He was only 25. The fourth stage, they call it depression. I call it the Grim Reaper. All of a sudden, it's like, whoosh, comes in with the sadness, and you don't leave the house. You don't leave the house. You get to the front door. I would just look out the front door. I'm like, people are going to work, people are doing this, and my son died. And the fifth stage is acceptance. And you have to accept and learn to live with it. And what you do is you learn to walk with a limp the rest of your life. So, but unlike any other grief, the grief keeps coming. All of a sudden you'll have the anger one day, you'll have the no way, this still ain't real. All of a sudden you're still looking at the phone. It's been 10 years. You got to be kidding me. So bringing these other Gold Star families in for a weekend. We have the fundraiser. We'll bring them up to Malvern. And it was awesome. And the first two grief counselors, which were great, they did the therapy role playing. And they separated the fathers from the moms. And what they did is, for me, you held another father, like he was my son Michael, and you talked to him. And it was brutal. It was hard. Another father, he said, he was a stepfather. Alan from Parkersburg, West Virginia. The mother was Tracy. Her son died with my son, Chief Nick Knoll. And Alan said, well, I was the stepdad. I really don't have that much anger. And he was laid back. He was a country boy, West Virginia. And the therapist said to him, well, what did it do to your wife? And he goes, well, that makes me angry. Well, what did it do to your kids? Oh, that makes me angry. Alan ended up beating the shit out of the pillow. They brought in a bat, and they whacked about 30 pillows. It was a great weekend. It was a great, very intense weekend. And there's other ways to deal with grief. The other one is drawing. Draw about it, and your feelings come out. But the third way that I know, and it's the best therapy that I found out, is writing. Writing a letter to your loved one. And then reading it out loud. And my wife here, on Friday night on the weekends, we hand out a folder with some poems, some healing poems, some symbols, and some loose leaf paper. And we asked the parents to write a letter to their son or daughter. Maybe you forgot to tell them Joey's sister got pregnant. Joey forgot to do this, or Dave. And the parents are like this in the beginning, like, I'm not doing that. Saturday morning we have breakfast. We have the grief counselor talk about why it's good to open up. Excuse me. And then we ask the parents to come up, and we have a picture of their son. Everybody brings a picture of their son or daughter. We have an honor and remember table. And they tell us about their son or daughter that was killed in Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa. Or the ones that came home and killed themselves, the suicide. And we started bringing those parents in too, because they didn't lose their kids over there, but they didn't sign up thinking about suicide. But when they came back from war, the things they seen in goes in at war affected their brains, and the poor men and women killed themselves. We lost 23,000 to suicide from Iraq and Afghanistan. So we bring them parents in too. And they write the letter, and in the morning they're reading and they're talking about their sons and daughters. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty amazing. One question I ask them is, how do you get through the birthday? What do you do in the holidays? How do you get through every day now? And the one father said for his birthday, he goes to the highest mountain in California because he feels closest to the sky. Another father, he makes rockets and writes letters and ships them out on his birthday. A woman goes to the ocean and she writes a few letters and puts them in a bottle and sends them out. So you hear different ways they deal with the grief. I know it's God working through us and our sons and daughters that gave the ultimate sacrifice. And after that Saturday afternoon and the parents are done, we have lunch. We come back, finish up with the rest of the parents. Then Saturday for dinner, wherever we're at, we ask the motorcycles, the police, the firemen, patriots to come out. And we have the motorcycles out front. And we go, if we're near the ocean, like Ocean City, Maryland, we throw the wreaths into the ocean, say your son's name. Let go, let God, I'll see you on the other side. Or we do the balloons, let go, let God, like we did in Tucson, Arizona. And it's very, very healing. And after that, we go to the local VFW post or American Legion post and have dinner, DJ, and let the parents let go, let God, and we learn to live with it. And the one mother, she said, this is the first time I danced in 7 years since my son died. Yeah. And I said to her, You were a go-go dancer. She said, I wasn't a go-go dancer. I said, you lived in Vegas. She said, shut up. So we learned to laugh again, too. You know what I mean? But we'll never forget, you know. You never forget as a Gold Star parent. And other people don't understand. If you didn't bury a child, you don't understand. I get it. People ask me, do you have other kids? I was like, yeah, Michael's not going to be down for breakfast. I don't say that, but I'm thinking that in my head. Don't matter if you have 30 other kids.
Well, they don't know what to say.
They don't know what to say. You're right.
Right. They don't know what to say. So we tell them to say their name. Don't be afraid.
Right.
You
We
know?
love talking about our sons and daughters.
Yeah.